Welcome friends to another session on mathematical modeling. We will continue with nonlinear models. Continuous models for interacting populations, part 1. When species interact, the population dynamics of each species is affected. In general, there is a whole web of interacting species, sometimes called a trophic web, which makes for structurally complex communities. We consider here systems involving two or more species, concentrating particularly on two species systems. There are three main types of interaction. First one, if the growth rate of one population is decreased and the other increased, the populations are in a predator-prey situation. Second one, if the growth rate of each population is decreased, then it is competition. And third one, if each population growth rate is enhanced, then it is called mutualism or symbiosis. First one, predator-prey models, Lotka-Volterra systems. Volterra in 1926 first proposed a simple model for the predation of one species by another to explain the oscillatory levels of certain fish catches in Adriatic. If n of t is the prey population and p of t that of the predator at time t, then Volterra's system is given by dn by dt is equal to n into a minus bp and dp by dt is equal to p into Cn minus d, where a, b, c and d are positive constants. The assumptions in the model are: the prey in the absence of any predation grows unboundedly in a Malthusian way. This is the an term in the first equation of equation 1. The effect of the predation is to reduce the prey's per capita growth rate by a term proportional to the prey and predator populations. This is the minus BNP term. And the next is, in the absence of any prey for sustenance, the predator's death rate results in exponential decay, that is the minus dp term in the second equation of 1. And the next is, the prey's contribution to the predator's growth rate is CNP, that is it is proportional to the available prey as well as to the size of the predator population. The NP terms can be thought of as representing the conversion of energy from one source to another, that is BNP is taken away from the prey and CNP is added to the predators. The model in equation 1 is known as the Lotka-Volterra model, since the same equations were also derived by Lotka in 1920 from a hypothetical chemical reaction. As a first step in analyzing the Lotka-Volterra model, we non-dimensionalize the system by writing u of tau is equal to C n t by d and v of tau is equal to b p t by a, and tau is equal to a into t and alpha is equal to d by a, and the equation becomes du by d tau is equal to u into 1 minus v and dv by d tau is equal to alpha v into u minus 1. In the uv phase plane, these give rise to the following autonomous differential equation for the orbits, obtained by taking the ratio between the two equations given in 3, namely dv by du is equal to alpha into v into u minus 1 by u into 1 minus v, which has singular points at u equal to v equal to 0 and u equal to v equal to 1. We can integrate equation 4 exactly to get the phase trajectories alpha into u plus v minus log u raised to alpha into v is equal to h, where h greater than h minimum is a constant. H minimum is equal to 1 plus alpha is the minimum of h over all uv, and it occurs that u equal to v equal to 1. For a given h greater than 1 plus alpha, the trajectories in the phase plane are closed as illustrated in the figure 1, where 1 plus alpha is less than h1, less than h2, less than h3, less than h4. A closed trajectory in the uv plane implies periodic solutions in tau for u and v in equation 3. The initial conditions u of 0 and v of 0 determine the constant h in equation 5 and hence the phase trajectory in figure 1. From equation 4, we can see immediately that u has a turning point when v equal to 1 and v has 1 when u equal to 1. A major inadequacy of the Lotka-Volterra model is clear from figure 1, that is, the solutions are not structurally stable. Suppose for example, u of 0 and v of 0 are such that u and v for tau greater than 0 are on the trajectory h4, which passes close to the u and v axis. Then any small perturbation will move the solution onto another trajectory which does not lie everywhere close to the original one h4. Thus, a small perturbation can have a very marked effect, at the very least, on the amplitude of the oscillation. This is a problem with any system which has a first integral like equation 5, which is a closed trajectory in the phase plane. They are called conservative systems. Here equation 5 is the associated conservative law. Returning to the form in equation 3, a linearization about the singular points determines the type of singularity and the stability of the steady states. We first consider the steady state u v is equal to 0 0. Let x and y be small perturbations about 0 0. If we keep only the linear terms in equation 3, it becomes dx by d tau dy by d tau is approximately equal to 1 0 0 minus alpha into x y, that is a into x y, where a is the matrix 1 0 0 minus alpha. The solution is the linear combination of terms of the form e raised to lambda tau, where lambda is one of the eigenvalues of A, which are given by the characteristic polynomial of the matrix A, and thus are the solution of mod A minus lambda I is equal to mod 1 minus lambda 0, 0 minus alpha minus lambda is equal to 0 gives lambda 1 equal to 1 and lambda 2 equal to minus alpha. Since at least one eigenvalue lambda 1 is greater than 0, x tau and y tau grow exponentially, so u equal to 0 equal to v is linearly unstable. Since the two eigenvalues have different sign, this is a saddle point singularity. Linearizing about the steady state u equal to v equal to 1 by setting u equal to 1 plus x and v equal to 1 plus y with mod x and mod y small, the equation 3 becomes dx by d tau dy by d tau is approximately equal to 0 minus 1 alpha 0 into x y, that is a x y, where a is the matrix 0 minus 1 alpha 0, with eigenvalues lambda given by mod a minus lambda I is equal to mod lambda minus 1 alpha minus lambda is equal to 0 gives lambda 1 is equal to minus I into root alpha and lambda 2 is equal to I into root alpha. Thus, u equal to v equal to 1 is a center singularity, since the eigenvalues are purely imaginary. Since real part of lambda is equal to 0, the steady state is neutrally stable. The solution of equation 7 is a linear combination of the terms e raised to I into root alpha tau and e raised to minus I into root alpha tau. So, the solutions in the neighborhood of the singular point u equal to v equal to 1 are periodic in tau with period 2 pi by root alpha. In dimensional terms, from equation 2, this period is t equal to 2 pi into a by d raised to half. That is, the period is proportional to the square root of the ratio of the linear growth rate A of the prey to the death rate d of the predators. In the ecological context, the matrix A in the linear equations 6 and 7 is called the community matrix, and its eigenvalues lambda determine the stability of the steady states. If real lambda is greater than 0, then the steady state is unstable, while if both real lambda less than 0, it is stable. The critical case, real lambda is equal to 0, is termed neutral stability. Now, we will move on to complexity and stability. To get some indication of the effect of complexity on stability, we briefly consider the generalized Lotka-Volterra predator-prey system, where there are k prey species and k predators which prey on all the prey species, but with different severity. Then in place of equation 1, we have dni by dt is equal to ni into ai minus summation j equal to 1 to k bij pj, and dpi by dt is equal to pi into minus di plus summation j equal to 1 to k cij nj for I equal to 1 to 3 etc. k, where all of the ai, bij, cij and di are positive constants. The trivial steady state is ni equal to pi equal to 0 for all I, and the community matrix is the diagonal matrix A is equal to the matrix with diagonal elements A1, A2, etc. AK minus D1, D2, etc. minus Dk. The 2k eigenvalues are thus lambda I is equal to ai greater than 0 and lambda k plus I is equal to minus di less than 0 for I equal to 1, 2, 3 etc. k. So, this steady state is unstable. The non-trivial steady state is the column vector solution n star p star where summation j equal to 1 to k bij pj star is equal to ai and summation j equal to 1 to k cij nj star is equal to di for I equal to 1, 2, 3 etc. k. Or in vector notation with n star p star a and d column vectors, we have b p star is equal to a and c n star is equal to d, where b and c are the k by k matrices bij ij and cij ij respectively. On linearizing about n star p star in by setting n equal to n star plus u and p equal to p star plus v, where mod u mod v are small compared with mod n star and mod p star, we get dy by dt is equal to minus ni star summation j equal to 1 to k bij vj and dvi by dt is equal to minus pi star summation j equal to 1 to k cij uj for I equal to 1, 2, 3 etc. k. That is, the matrix du by dt dv by dt is approximately equal to A into uv, where A is the matrix 0 minus diagonal n1 star etc. nk star b, diagonal p1 star etc. pk star c is 0, where here the community matrix A is a 2k by 2k block matrix with null diagonal blocks. Since the eigenvalues lambda I for I equal to 1, 2, 3 etc. 2k is the solution of mod A minus lambda I, the sum of the roots lambda I satisfies the equation summation I equal to 1 to 2k lambda I, which is equal to the trace of A is equal to 0. Since the elements of A are real, the eigenvalues if complex occur as complex conjugates. Thus, from equation 10 there are two cases, either all the eigenvalues are purely imaginary or they are not. If all real lambda I is equal to 0, then the steady state n star p star is neutrally stable as in the two species case. However, if there are lambda I such that real lambda I is not equal to 0, then since they occur as complex conjugates, equation 10 implies that at least one exists with real lambda greater than 0 and hence n star p star is unstable. We see from this analysis that complexity in the population interaction web introduces the possibility of instability. If a model by chance resulted in only imaginary eigenvalues and hence perturbations from the steady state are periodic in time, only a small change in one of the parameters in the community matrix would result in at least one eigenvalue with real lambda not equal to 0 and hence an unstable steady state. This of course only holds for community matrices such as in equation 9. Even so, we get indications of the fairly general and important result that complexity usually results in instability rather than stability. Now, we will move on to realistic predator-prey models. The Lotka-Volterra model, unrealistic though it is, does suggest that simple predator-prey interactions can result in periodic behavior of the populations. This is not unexpected, since if a prey population increases, it encourages growth of its predator. More predators, however, consume more prey, the population of which starts to decline. With less food around, the predator population declines, and when it is low enough, this allows the prey population to increase and the whole cycle starts over again. Depending on the detailed system, such oscillations can grow or decay or go into a stable limit cycle oscillation or even exhibit chaotic behavior, although in the latter case there must be at least 3 interacting species or the model has to have some delay terms. A limit cycle solution is a closed trajectory in the predator-prey space which is not a member of a continuous family of closed trajectories such as the solutions of Lotka-Volterra model illustrated in figure 1. A stable limit cycle trajectory is such that any small perturbation from the trajectory decays to 0. one of the unrealistic assumptions in the Lotka-Volterra models, that is equation 1 and generally equation 8, is that the prey growth is unbounded in the absence of predation. In the form we have written the model equation 1, the bracketed term on the right are the density dependent per capita growth rates. To be more realistic, these growth rates should depend on both the predator and prey densities, as in dn by dt is equal to n into f of np and dp by dt is equal to p into g of np, where the forms f and g depend on the interaction, the species and so on. As a reasonable first step, we might expect the prey to satisfy a logistic growth, say in the absence of any predators, or have some similar growth dynamics which has some maximum carrying capacity. So, for example, a more realistic prey population equation might take the form dn by dt is equal to n into f of np, where f of np is equal to r into 1 minus n by k minus prn, where Rn is a predation term characterized by the fact that nRn tends to a constant as n tends to plus infinity, and k is the constant carrying capacity for the prey when p equal to 0. The predation term, which is the functional response of the predator to change in the prey density, generally shows some saturation effect. Instead of predator response of B and P as in the Lotka-Volterra model equation 1, we take PNR of n, where NR of n saturates for n large. Some examples are R of n is equal to A by n plus B, R of n is equal to A by n square plus B square, and R of n is equal to A into 1 minus e raised to a n by n, where A, B and small a are positive constants. The saturation for large n is a reaction of the limited predator capability or perseverance when the prey is abundant. The predator population equation, the second of equation 11, should also be made more realistic than simply having G is equal to minus D plus Cn as in the Lotka-Volterra model given by equation 1. Possible forms are GNP is equal to k into 1 minus HP by n, where GNP is equal to minus D plus E NR of n, where k, h, d and e are positive constants, and R of n is as given in equation 12. The first of equation 13 says that the carrying capacity for the predator is directly proportional to the prey density. The models given by equations 11 to 13 are only examples of the many that have been proposed and studied. They are all more realistic than the classical Lotka-Volterra model. Let us now move on to the analysis of a predator-prey model with limit cycle periodic behavior. We will see the parameter domains of stability. As an example of how we analyze such realistic two species models, we consider one of them in detail, namely the system of equations given by dn by dt is equal to n into r into 1 minus n by k minus kp by n plus d, and dp by dt is equal to p into s into 1 minus hp by n, where r, k, small k, d, s and h are positive constants. Here we express n and p as fractions of the predator free carrying capacity k. Let us write u equal to n by k, v equal to hp by k, tau equal to rt, a equal to k by hr, b equal to s by r, and small d equal to capital D by k. Now equation 14 becomes du by dt is equal to u into 1 minus u minus auv by u plus d, we will call it f of uv, and dv by d tau is equal to bv into 1 minus v by u, we will call it g of uv, which have only 3 dimensionless parameters a, b and d. Non-dimensionalization reduces the number of parameters by grouping them in a meaningful way. Dimensionless groupings generally give relative measures of the effect of dimensional parameters. For example, b is the ratio of the linear growth rate of the predator, so that of the prey, and so b greater than 1 and b less than 1 have definite ecological meanings. With the latter, the prey reproduce faster than the predator. The equilibrium or steady state populations u star and v star are the solutions of the equations du by d tau equal to 0 and dv by d tau equal to 0, namely f of u star v star equal to 0 and g of u star v star equal to 0, which from equation 16 are u star into 1 minus u star minus a u star v star by u star plus d equal to 0 and b v star into 1 minus v star by u star is equal to 0. We are only concerned here with positive solutions, namely the positive solutions of v star is equal to u star and 1 minus u star into u star plus d minus a v star is equal to minus of u star square plus a plus d minus 1 into u star minus d is equal to 0, of which the only positive one is u star is equal to 1 minus a minus d plus square root of 1 minus a minus d the whole square plus 4d by 2 and v star is equal to u star. We are interested in the stability of the steady states, which are the singular points in the phase plane of equation 16. For the linear analysis, we write x tau is equal to u tau minus u star and y tau is equal to v tau minus v star, which on substituting into equation 16. Linearizing with mode x and mode y small and using equation 17 gives the form the matrix dx by d tau dy by d tau is equal to matrix A into xy, where A is the matrix dou f by dou u, dou f by dou v, dou g by dou u, dou g by dou v at u star v star, which is equal to the matrix u star into a u star by u star plus d square minus 1 minus a u star by u star plus d, b minus b. A, the community matrix, has eigenvalues lambda given by determinant A minus lambda equal to 0 gives lambda square minus trace of A lambda plus determinant A equal to 0. For stability, we require real part of lambda less than 0, and so the necessary and sufficient conditions for linear stability are from the last equation trace of A less than 0, which gives u star into a u star by u star plus d the whole square minus 1 is less than b, and determinant of A greater than 0, which gives minus b u star into a u star by u star plus d the whole square minus 1 plus a b u star by u star plus d greater than 0. Substituting for u star from equation 18 gives the stability conditions in terms of the parameters a, b and d, and hence in terms of the original parameters are capital K, small k, d, s and h in equation 14. In general, there is a domain in the A, B, D space such that if the parameters lie within it, u star v star is stable, that is real part of lambda less than 0, and if they lie outside it, the steady state is unstable. The latter requires at least one of the equation 20 to be violated. A simple calculation shows that determinant of A is equal to b u star into a u star by u plus d the whole square plus 1 plus a by u star plus d is equal to b u star into 1 plus a d by u star plus d the whole square greater than 0 for all a greater than 0, b greater than 0, d greater than 0, and so the second of equation 20 is always satisfied. The instability domain is thus determined solely by the first inequality of equation 20, namely trace A is less than 0, which with equation 18 for u star and using equation 17 becomes b greater than 1 by 2a into a minus 1 minus a minus d the whole square plus 4d raised to half into 1 plus a plus d minus 1 minus a minus d the whole square plus 4d raised to half. This defines a 3-dimensional surface in A, B, D parameter space. We are only concerned with A, B, D positive. The second square bracket in equation 21 is a monotonic decreasing function of D and always positive. The first square bracket is a monotonic decreasing function of D with the maximum at D equal to 0. Thus, the condition in equation 21 is for sure satisfied provided B is larger than the value of the RHS of equation 21 with D equal to 0. That is, a sufficient condition for equation 21 is B greater than 2a minus 1 if 0 less than a less than or equal to 1, and 1 by a if a is greater than 1. And so, for 0 less than a less than half and all d greater than 0, the stability condition in equation 21 is satisfied with any b greater than 0. That is, the steady state u star v star is linearly stable for all 0 less than a less than half, b greater than 0, d greater than 0. On the other hand, if a is greater than half, there is a domain in the ABD space with b greater than 0 and d greater than 0, where equation 21 is not satisfied, and so the first of equation 20 is violated, and hence one of the eigenvalues lambda of the community matrix A has real lambda is greater than 0. This in turn implies the steady state u star v star is unstable to small perturbations. When real lambda is less than 0, the steady state is stable and either both lambdas are real, in which case the singular point u star v star is a stable node in the uv phase plane, or the lambdas are complex and the singular point is a stable spiral. When the parameters result in real lambda greater than 0, the singular point is either an unstable node or spiral. In this case, we must determine whether or not there is a compact invariant set or bounding domain or confined set in the uv phase plane. That is, we must find a simple closed boundary curve in the positive quadrant of the uv plane such that on it the phase trajectories always point into the enclosed domain. That is, if n denotes the outward normal to this boundary, we require n dot du by dτ dv by dτ is less than 0 for all points on the boundary. If this inequality holds at a point on the boundary, it means that the velocity vector du by dτ dv by dτ points inwards. To find a confined set, it is essential and always informative to draw the null lines of the system, that is the curves in the phase plane where du by dτ equal to 0 and dv by dτ is equal to 0. From equation 16, these are the curves fuv equal to 0 and guv equal to 0, which are illustrated in figure 2. The sign of the vector components of fuv guv indicate the direction of the vector du by dτ dv by dτ and hence the direction of uv trajectory. So, if f is greater than 0 in the domain, du by dτ greater than 0 and u is thus increasing there. On DE, EA, AB and BC, the trajectories clearly point inwards because of the signs of FUV and GUV on them. It can be shown that a line DC exists such that on it n dot du by dτ dv by dτ is less than 0. That is, n dot FUV GUV is less than 0, where n is the unit vector perpendicular to DC. For instance, take the straight line v equal to alpha u with alpha greater than 1 on a suitable u interval according to figure 2. On that line, f is equal to f of u alpha u, which is equal to u into 1 minus u plus alpha a u by u plus d, and g equal to g of u alpha u, which is equal to minus alpha b into alpha minus 1 u, which is less than 0. In order to point inwards, we need g by f is greater than alpha, which means g minus alpha f is less than 0 on the set f less than 0. Hence, the solution trajectory tends to a limit cycle when the parameters a, b and d belong to the domain of instability. This means that both components u and v tend to assume an oscillating profile as time goes to infinity. The main difference with the basic Lotka-Volterra system given by equation 1 is that this oscillating profiles are asymptotically stable under small perturbation, which was not the case in that model, where a small change in the initial datum produced a change in the value of the energy and hence a change in the closed trajectory. Before we conclude, let us summarize what we have learned in this session. We have started our discussion with the classical Lotka-Volterra system of equations for predator-prey model. We have studied the complexity and stability of the generalized Lotka-Volterra predator-prey system. Then we discussed the realistic model and analyzed the domains of stability for this model with the limit cycle periodic behavior. Here are some exercise problems to test your knowledge on the topic. First question, another version of the predator prey model is given by Pt plus 1 is equal to Pt into e raised to r into 1 minus Pt by k minus s qt, and Qt plus 1 is equal to u into 1 minus e raised to minus v qt into Pt, where s, u, v are greater than 0 and r and k are as in the logistic model. Explain why these equations are reasonable. What happens to the prey in the absence of predators? What happens to the predators in the absence of prey? What are the effects of e raised to minus s qt and 1 minus e raised to minus v qt in the model equations? Second question, what is the effect of varying u and v on the equilibrium of the predator prey model? Do these effects seem reasonable biologically? Third question, a simple model for the predator prey interaction where the predator has a source of food in addition to the prey is delta p is equal to rp into 1 minus p by k1 minus spq, and delta q is equal to uq into 1 minus q by k2 plus v into pq. Question A, explain why these equations model the described situation. Question B, choosing units so that k1 equal to k2 equal to 1, find and plot the nullines for this model. Draw arrows on your plot indicating the signs of delta p and delta q. Question C, compute all equilibria for the model. And question D, what does your analysis of this model lead you to expect as typical behavior of orbits? For further reading, you can go for these textbooks. First one, Modules in Applied Mathematics Volume 4, Life Science Models by H. M. Roberts and M. Thompson, Springer Verlag 1982. Second one, Mathematical Modeling in Biology, an Introduction by Elizabeth S. Allman and John A. Rhodes. Third one, Mathematical Biology Lecture Notes by Jeffrey R. Kasnov. Fourth one, Mathematical Modeling Lecture Notes by Jeff S. McGough. And fifth one, Mathematical Modeling Lecture Notes by David C. Dobson. With this, we come to an end of the session. We will continue with mathematical modeling in another session. Till then, goodbye.